All right, Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekakwadash, double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. This lesson is about knowing who your enemy is, which is the wicked, and knowing how to deal with them. The scriptures tell you how to deal with them. This Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now let's find out who the wicked is so we can see who the earth was given to. We'll go to this is Malachi chapter 1 starting at verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So there you go. Edom is the wicked. Esau, Edom is the wicked. So now that we know who the wicked is, we know who's ruling in Babylon the Great is Esau, Edom, because they're just totally wicked. And so check this out. We're going to see some of the deeds of some of the characteristics of the wicked and some of the things that they've done. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's exactly what they did. They took our images and covered, where it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof in Job 9:24. Exactly what they did. They covered the faces of the judges, or the true judges, which are the Israelites, and with their own images by painting the likeness of their images. And that's what they did. That's where you get white Jesus or Cesare Borgia. That's where you get that image from when you type in the word Jesus. So, this is Psalms 58 and 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So they're born. The wicked are literally born wicked. They speak lies. That's lies and falsehood is what they do. They come and speak to you with smooth words while they plotting against you. That's exactly what they do. Also, they are a very violent people too. They always take what they want. This is Genesis 27, starting at verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, which they have, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's exactly what they did. Once they got over us, we had them in subjection, and they broke the yoke from off their neck, and now they have us in subjection up under them. They got Jacob in subjection. But it says, there's by the sword shalt thou live. Their sword is the blessing, their weaponry. That's why they're always about their guns and their missiles and their bombs and always trying to develop new weaponry, because that is their blessing. That's how they got everything. That's how they stole all the lands and called lands after their own names and all that. It's through their weaponry. This is Isaiah 44 and verse 5. It says, one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another, which was Jacob, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. That's exactly what they did. They stole our name. The Jewish people over in the land of Israel, they call themselves Jewish, which means like unto. They're not the true Jews, but they're like the true. They took on, or tried to take on our customs, and just called themselves after their names. After they called themselves the true Jews, or the Jewish people. And then they don't even call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Israelis. That let you know that right there. He put the signs in it to know that they're not the true Jews. This is matter of fact, check this out. This is Ezekiel 35 and 10. It says, because thou hast said, these two nations, the house of Israel and the house of Judah, and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Exactly. They stole the land. Stole the nations. They stole the name and the land. Also getting into another one of their characteristics is their pride. They don't think that anything could happen to them. This is Psalms 49 verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Yep, they changed the name of the lands. They did that, a lot of lands on the earth. But their pride is they think that with the position they're in now is going to last forever. But Most High has a rude awakening. They're playing checkers, and Most High Yahweh is playing chess. He gonna checkmate them right on up off their board, to the point where the wicked is gonna be put out of the earth, and they're gonna be for stubble and fire, and it's just gonna put them out. And ain't gonna be none left of the house of Edom, house of Esau. Let's see. This is Job 27 and 7. Let my enemy be as the wicked, and he that rises up against me as the unrighteous. Exactly. Your enemy gonna be as the wicked. So we know that if we have enemies, they are as the wicked. The wicked is our enemy. Jacob's enemy is the wicked. This is going to be Psalms 55 verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were there drawn swords. Exactly. That's exactly how Esau comes to you. Esau comes to you all soft-spoken and with big words and such eloquent speech and all that, but in on the inside, they think about how to take you down, how to overthrow you, how to kill you, and you have to understand that. Don't be deceived by your enemy. Don't be deceived by Esau Edom, because that's exactly what they plan to do. This is going to be Sirach chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy. Right. You don't need to trust him. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he be humble, Salakia. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Right. So though he come lowly and speaking soft and them smooth words and different things, like, like he's really humble, shit, beware of him. Shit, don't be deceived by that. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his wrath has not been altogether wiped away. So yeah, you check him out, you test him, and you prove him. Shoot, and then once you take him out of the testament and prove him, his wrath still there. You know that nigga is the wicked. You know not to fuck with him. Leave him alone. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. There you go. Don't put him close to you. Don't let him get that close to you. Because you always remember, the wicked, the enemy is always plotting to take you down. So he wants your spot. If you hired him, he wants your spot. And if you on his level, he wants you out of his way. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner, and one is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. He ain't gonna stay with you. He ain't gonna stay down with you. An enemy speaketh, here we go, check this out, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He trying to, like I said, he trying to figure out how to take you out. While he talking all them sweet words and all that, while he bullshitting, feeding you all that bullshit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. There you go, man. See, the scriptures tell you how to deal with them sly slickers. The ones that like to slither up close to you, being like they humble and all, acting like they want to help you out, but then they really plotting against you. Scripture tell you how to deal with that. Tell you how to deal with how Esau Edom come at you. Tell you how to deal with the enemy coming at you. And Jake, you gotta take heed to these words, man. Lord ain't put this in the book for us. All things are written before time written for our learning. He ain't put this in here for, just to read over. He trying to let us know, put us up on game, as Jake would say. So hope y'all were edified with that. I say shalom.